This video is for utilization of technology in the classroom. This is my third new technology. So the third new technology I'm going to talk to you about is a program I use in my classroom called Zearn. Zearn is another math program that we use to support our math curriculum. So Zearn is a math program that kind of goes along with Engage New York. So I don't know what math program your district uses. Ours has adopted Engage New York, and so this is a great support for it. The lessons are the exact replica of the lessons that are used in Engage New York. So I teach a lesson that is very similar to the ones that are taught in Engage New York. So it's great. It's a great support for your lesson. The purpose of this video is to provide educators a detailed explanation of the Zearn math program and what it has to offer. The intended audience is educators who are looking for a way to support their math curriculum. So if you use the Engage New York curriculum, this is a great tool to help with it. If you don't quite use it, it does give you some different strategies that I'd say aren't offered in every single math program, but definitely if you use Engage New York, this would really support you. My two IST standards below are Leader 2C and Designer 5B. And again, you can go ahead and take a look at those standards if you have some time. So this is what the home page looks like. Again, you can create an account. I am pretty sure I have not found a paid feature on this. They do have workbooks that you can print out and buy for your students, or a book that you can buy for your students. I just use the printouts, which are free as well. But again, I have not found anything besides those booklets that you have to pay for. So Zearn is for grades K to 5. Again, I teach 3rd and 4th grade, so this kind of supplements that. If you don't teach those grades, this probably isn't the best resource to use, but again, it's good for remediation. So up here, I can click grades 1 to 5, and it's going to give me an overview of all the different maps that they have. I'm going to go ahead and click on grade 3, which I'm teaching next year, and it separates them into missions. So the maps are into missions. Go ahead and click on mission 1. And so on this, it has all the different lessons. So like on this one has 21 different lessons for students. And like I said, it matches almost identical to the Engage New York lesson. Now, one thing I really like about this, you can actually go through and see which ones you're going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Number Gym here. Number Gym is just a way for students to kind of practice their math skills. This is kind of like fast recall. So there's a lot of different things like making sets of 10, basic multiplication. And so it always starts them off with some type of fact mastery. Alright, from there, sometimes it will have more than one. So like these very beginning ones, it's kind of just seeing where they are at. The next part they have in each lesson is called the math chat. And so this actually gives them a teacher who is explaining and asking them questions. And so students aren't allowed to kind of skip ahead. Each one of these is kind of a check for understanding. Alright, so it's asking if they have, again, a pencil, they have their note page, which again I print out for them, and then headphones. And so that's super basic. It gets into more math questions, I'd say, later on. Alright. But it is great because it has a teacher there. It's scripted again just like the Engage New York lessons. So this is great for students who need maybe double work on the lesson, as well for those students that you might think, hey, they can pretty much get this on their own and maybe they don't have to spend as long of a time. So once they go through the lesson, they have this thing called Tower Power, and this is kind of the assessment of the lesson. So what students have to do here is they have to fill this bar up all the way, and again, if they need some remediation, so let's see if I just put 6 in here, let me try it again and get 4, okay, what it's going to do is give me just a little more help, so it will go back and reteach it. So it'll break the question down for me to see, so students can kind of see what's going on with that. So I don't have to worry about students maybe not getting it because it will reteach them whatever they're missing. Now going back to the teacher's page, another thing I can do is look at my classes. Again, this is totally free to students. They either just have to have the app on their iPad, or they can, again, do the web-based version. On here, what I can do is actually assign a lesson. So if I have a certain group of students that maybe struggled with a certain part, I can assign an exact lesson to kind of give them a reteach. Another thing I can do is look at reports. Right, and so reports is going to give me some data on students. Let's see if I can change this to last year's. Awesome. Alright, so this tells me, again, how many lessons the students have completed. So these would be the different maps here, how many total lessons they've completed. I can also look at the pace, alright, so how many they're doing per day. Of course, that's going to be a little off with it being summer. It also gives me alerts, though, on tower alerts, so which ones that they've been struggling with, as well as the sprint alerts. And so, again, the sprint is going to be that fact mastery at the beginning. So it'll highlight some students that, hey, so-and-so struggled with lesson whatever. And so during our MTSS time, I can kind of focus on the students, group them up with ability level and who struggled with what. So Zearn is a great way to supplement, again, Engage New York. Again, that's what they kind of designed this off of. It goes along with what Engage New York is. I would recommend it for teachers as well, maybe who are adopting Engage New York but have no idea how to teach it. It will kind of give you an example of what to do. Our new teachers, this is what I kind of recommended for them to use, just to kind of get a feel of what the curriculum is, because it is a lot different, I'd say, than what we grew up with. But Zearn, again, is a great support or supportive tool to the Engage New York curriculum. If you use that or just want to find out a different way to do math, give it a try.